welcome to Dr. Jaideep Das, former Joint Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, New Delhi, Mrs. Surabhi Saxena, Vice Principal, BVB Vidyashram, Jaipur, Ms. Shubhi from BVB Vidyashram, Pratapnagar, Jaipur, and all the distinguished participants to the Teacher Transformation Workshop on Teachers as Design Scientists. This 4-day journey is aimed at empowering educators to become true innovators in the classroom, problem solvers, reflective practitioners, and design scientists who can integrate innovative pedagogies with the ideals of the National Education Policy 2020. Day one of the workshop focuses on rethinking the role of teachers. Before we move forward with the sessions, let us begin this special day with a prayer to the Almighty, seeking blessings for wisdom, clarity, and inspiration as we embark on this journey of transformation. I request everyone to join their hands for prayer. So, ma'am, we can play the prayer, all of you. बोला कुछ नहीं लेकिन वो एहसास हो गया कि मैंने गलती की सामने टेबल में टेबल बैठा है ना आप किसको प्लीज म्यूट ऑल Deepika ma'am, we can play the prayer audio. मेरा खुदा बड़ा है ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं इन मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है आती है आंधियां तो कर उनका खैर मकदम आती है आंधियां तो कर उनका खैर मकदम तूफान से ही तो लड़ गए खुदा ने तुझे गढ़ा है ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं इन मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है श्रद्धा वो सर्वशक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे वो सर्वशक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे हर काम में उसके रहते हर दम हुआ पड़ा है कभी हारना ना हिम्मत से कदम बढ़ाओ हजारों कदम बढ़ाने वो सामने खड़ा है ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं इन मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है मेरा खुदा बड़ा है मेरा Indeed, we begin with gratitude and devotion. Every endeavor becomes more meaningful. Anil sir, would you like to introduce this 4-day workshop to the participants? A brief intro about that.
Thank you, Poonam. So, namaste and welcome to you all in this very interesting workshop related with the teachers as design scientists. I think I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, I'll let you in a very brief because I have given all the details to you in that brochure that what is what. So I'll let you know about in a very short that why this idea came to the mind about the teacher as design scientist. If you see, it is there are two things. The one is innovations into the real world, and second is uh, the whatever we are doing in the theoretical context. So we are concerned with innovations into the real world and examining the impact of these design in the classroom, that is in the teaching and learning process. If you go back uh, to your B.Ed classes, just think of that. We used to read about Luto, Rousseau, Dewey, and Werner, and so on, so many. So they addressed education as a theoretical approach. So we have to read Rousseau theory, Pluto theory, and of course, uh, they tried to design the school or the curricula to implement their ideas. But today, scenario has changed. Today, we have the best minds in teaching industry as educationists, and these minds are addressing themselves about the education as experimentalist. That's if you see about the national policy of education, we are talking about the experiential learning. So the goal now is changed, and now it is like an analytical science. It cannot be like physics or the psychology, but it is more like uh, you can see AI, artificial intelligence. So the different strategy had to be made. If you see the introduction of this, uh, it is I have already given in the introduction about the three phase. In one phase, teacher as a design scientist. In the second phase, we have given about action research, and in the third phase, it is the implementation of the project. So I'm very happy that uh, this our beloved Dr. Jaideep Das has agreed to give the keynote address for this particular session, and this the whole program will be coordinated by Poonam Kandwal. You might have heard his sweet voice in the beginning. She is an English teacher at Bhavans, Chandigarh, and she's teaching English since 15 years. And she's a passionate educator, and she cultivates and nurtures a congenial environment for the students, encourage intellectual, emotional, intelligence, growth, and overall the holistic development. And she builds lasting relationship with the students through the academic journey and also personal milestones and instilling the values, confidence, and curiosity in young minds. So this is about the brief of Poonam, Poonam Kanpal, who will be guiding us, coordinating us for 3 days. So welcome Poonam,
Thank you so
and I
much, sir.
welcome all the participants who will be with us for this 4 days journey. Now the stage is all set for you, Poonam. Please.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. So, sir, with your kind permission, since Siva sir, due to some occupancy, is not here with us, can we start with the first
Please,
session?
please.
Right,
Please start with Dr. Das.
right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now let's begin with the first session of the day. Design thinking is a human centered approach to problem solving that encourages creativity, empathy, and innovation. It enables teachers to look at classroom challenges with a fresh perspective, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to design meaningful learning experiences for the students. The topic of our first session, Why Design Scientist, will focus on understanding the evolving role of teachers in the framework of the National Education Policy 2020. I am honored to welcome Dr. Jaideep Das, former Joint Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, New Delhi, who would lead the first session. Sir is a veteran educationist with over 4 decades of experience in teaching, teacher education, curriculum design, and policy implementation. Sir retired in 2023 as Joint Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, New Delhi, after leading significant reforms and large scale training initiatives. He played a key role in aligning KVS frameworks with the National Education Policy 2020, ensuring a modern, learner centric approach. Sir has held impactful positions in both the government of Madhya Pradesh and the central education system. His contributions include building teacher capacity, curriculum innovation, and universalizing primary education. He holds a PhD in education with specialization in tribal education, a master's degree in physics, and an MEd, demonstrating both academic depth and multidisciplinary expertise. Sir has collaborated extensively with CBSE and NCERT on various child centric learning initiatives. He continues to provide consultancy on NEP 2020 aligned codes, digital content development, and institutional strategy. We warmly welcome you, sir, and look forward to your insights on how educators can transform into design scientists. Sir, I request you to enlighten us on the topic, why design scientists?
Sir, we cannot listen you.
Now I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, namaskar, each one of you. Thank you for the very benign introduction about myself. This is a great opportunity. I mean, the Vidya Bhavan is doing a great work in the field of education. And I'm really happy to get this opportunity to interact with teachers, educationists in this forum. And the discussion that I will carry out I will have a presentation with me, but that presentation is only for keeping me on track so that I do not digress from the main topic. That is why this presentation is made. But I am an old school person. We have been trained face to face on blackboard, on one-to-one discussion, group discussion. But after COVID, we all have to get ourselves acclimatized with this online situation. But truly, if you are not able to interact with the participants, then it is a roadblock in real interaction. So what I will do, this modern day tools are also very good in, I mean, you can put on chat and you can reflect your opinion also. So I think chat box will be open here, and whenever I would request you to give your some comments, please share that with me so that I can have an idea whether I am on the right track or not. So let me share my presentation with you first, so that sharing is not turned on. I want to share. I need to send a request. I have sent a request. Please allow me to share my presentation. Okay. I think you can have a look. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay. So the topic that is given to me is understanding the evolving role of teachers in NEP 2020, inspired by Donald Sean reflective practitioner. And why design scientist? I mean, this is the topic that is given to me. So if I really go into the topic and break it, I have the idea that these are the three key areas around which I will be sharing my views. The first area is teacher as a reflective practitioners in NEP 2020, Donald Sean's insight, and how reflective practices help in designing. So this is how I have understood the topic. And this is the broad framework in which I will share my views and try to get some idea from you. So first comes the national education policy. And I think we all teachers, those who are in the field of education, now we have heard NEP 2020 so much and so many times that now we are either fully, uh, you know, uh, fully gripped with it. Recently, we have completed 5 years of implementation of new education policy 2020, a few days back. When this policy came, it was a huge news that this policy is coming after 34 years. Prior to this, our national education policy was there in 1986, followed by 1992 plan of action. But this policy has come after a gap of 34 years. But now I am looking, already 5 years have lapsed after implementing the policy, national education policy. Now, my submission, I would really love to know how much, the role of teachers has been impacted by the new education policy. And the implementation of the new education policy, what sort of changes that has occurred in your day-to-day functioning in a school, or your functioning as a teacher, or your functioning as a teacher educator and interaction with larger society and parents. So if you can give some idea about that. Suppose I say that you rate it in a scale of 1 to 10, whether new national education policy has impacted your daily life routine, say in a scale of 1 to 10, where you will put it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 9, 7. You just put it in a chat box so that I can get an idea how it is, it has been they are impacting your this thing, so that I can have just an idea. Uh, uh, you can put your number, if it has impacted a lot, you can put beyond 7, 8. If it has not brought any significant change, you can put it below 5. If it is little above, I'm not able to see whether this chat box is allowed to be seen by me or not. Teachers, the participants are responding their views. Poonam ji?
Yes, sir. We have messages in the chat box, sir. The
But
range is from 5 to 8.
But it is not visible to me. Why it is so? Why I'm not able to see? Is it not?
Sir, actually, your slide is open. That is why maybe if you minimize the slide, there's a chat section, the comment box, which we can open.
Chat section. Let me.
There are small icons, sir, stating
Chat.
participants,
I
chat.
have opened the chat, but
Yes, sir. We have answers from Ravindra Kumar, sir. He has rated it 7. Sharmila Homik ma'am says 8. Rabani ma'am 7.
okay. Now you will help me out in giving some idea. What I am getting is that the National Education Policy 2020 has certainly impacted the teaching learning processes to some extent in daily routine and daily life of schooling. Am I right? Am I right to get the
Absolutely
same?
right,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I will briefly go into the national education policy because you are all already aware of the policy. You have undergone various training, I believe. You have undergone NISTA, you have undergone various courses and school level program for national education policy. But still, for the benefit, I will just share the notice. It is not moving. Why it is not moving? I am not able to proceed further. Let me see.
Maybe if you could start sharing again, sir, resharing the slides.
Let me share it again and then I will proceed. Huh?
Right, sir.
Okay. So the aims to revolutionize Indian education system, focusing on quality learning outcome, addressing the long-standing issue of rote learning and inadequate teacher training. These are some of the highlights of the national education policy, which the holistic word has come, I think, more than this is a 65-page document. The original document is 65-page document. In that 65-page document, holistic education, experiential learning has occurred number of times. So by holistic education, they mean that the curriculum and pedagogic reform across all stages will be to move the education system towards real understanding and towards learning how to learn and away from the culture of rote learning. So rote learning has been banged upon like anything, and the aim of education will not be only cognitive development, but character building, all round, all round development has been put to that. Apart from that, the experiential learning has been one of the important ingredient. In experiential learning, as it is written, that assessment has given a very important uh, position in the entire framework of education because the students, the parents, the entire society is worried about how my child has performed. The performance is the ultimate indicator of the success of education. So now they have broadened the evaluation part. They say that assessment as assessment of and assessment for learning. It is not only assessment of learning. Assessment of learning means the final examination, the summative examination, the session ending examination. But that constitute a very small part. A child who is appearing in examination in the end of a session, he might be very good all through his unit test in half-yearly exam or in first semester or second semester. But for some reasons, he could not perform better in his final examination, his summative examination. So we should not finally stamp the child as a failure. So it talks of formative assessment. It talks of learning as assessment. So this is a major shift. I mean, not only pedagogy, but while assessing the child, we must assess him in each and every frame of learning, right from day one to monthly to unit test to all other tests has to be taken into consideration. And assessment for learning means while learning actually takes place, there the interaction with the teachers and the student, the student's response, student participation in activity, all those has to be taken into consideration. Therefore, they have said that the assessment pro forma will be 360-degree appraisal. I mean, it should contain everything, each and everything of the child's personality, child's cognitive development, child's participation in art, music, games, everything, the holistic. So 360-degree appraisal of the child. This appraisal has to be done by the teachers, by the peers, by the parents, by the society. So it has given a very broad framework. Although that framework could not be implemented as yet in literal sense, but a larger part of it has been planned to implement by CBSE. Now they have designed a complete new report card. Schools, the teachers, those who are working in the school, they know how it is performing. So this was one of the major part of it. So if we take entire pedagogical shift in NEP 2020, it goes deeper into experiential learning method, such as case studies, project-based learning, and also advocates for personalized and adaptive learning. Here, the role of AI and other such tool comes, where you want to identify the weakness of a child and then give them him or her a personal sort of teaching learning opportunity. So this is very important because with the help of AI now the role of teacher for assessment of the student. Suppose we want to assess the learning comprehension of the child. Earlier, a teacher used to go ask to open a book, listen to each children reading literally, standing over there, listening to them. But now it can be done. You can open a book, you can open a text and read it, and the computer will take note of it. And then he will produce a result, how your fluency in reading, how much you are able to read, flawlessly, what is your connotation, what is your pronunciation, and then it will give you a complete result. So for that, teacher has now a ready-made result with him or her for the entire class. So now a lot of time is saved. So teacher can really focus on pedagogy, the teaching learning improvement. So these are some of the important aspect of the new education policy, which I have summed up in very brief 3-4 slides, because we all know about it and we have been participating and we have been doing it for quite long. Now, before I deep dive into the reflective practices and the how reflective practices has impacted that actual teaching learning and how it is useful uh, 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 for a impactful teaching, that I will go into it. But before that, I would like you to focus more on now I will just an activity I would like to do, but I don't know I would be able to see the result on my chat box or not. Again, I will request Poonam ji to help me out. See, I am going to now flash written content, a very small written content, which you will take hardly 30 seconds to read. I mean, very small 4 lines that you have to read. And what you have to do, you have to find out how many times letter F, English letter F, F for fortune, how many times that letter F has occurred in that sentence. That you have to just count and write in chat box that these are the number, 3 times, 4 times, 7 times, 5 times, whatever it is, you have to mention it over there. So are you ready? Take a deep breath. I will now flash it on your screen. You have to read it. And then after reading it, you have to put the number in the chat box, that how many is the number. So I am just putting it and I will read mentally along with you. Once I read it, I will remove it from the screen. So here it is. Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of many years. So I'm keeping it for some more time. And now you tell me how many times the letter F has occurred in that frame. Just put it in chat box. Poonam ji will help me out. What is the common denominator is coming? Because I am not able to see. I don't know why.
Sir, till now we are maximum responses. They say four.
Huh? Yes,
Four
madam.
in
Little
number.
loud. Little.
Sir, maximum people are saying four.
4. Maximum people are saying 4. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And is there any 5 or 6?
Yes, sir.
One
Mr.
is 6.
Ashu BV Panchkula says 5. And
Okay.
6 also we have 1 6. Alok Mishra, sir. He says
Alok Mishra
6.
sir has said 6. Okay. Is there 3 also?
Yes, sir.
How
Uh,
many?
Sir, Miss Daya Rani BV New Chandigarh says 3. We have,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Okay. See, now this is a very simple practice that I have given. Why I have given this practice? I just wanted to say that despite being attentive, because I have given you an instruction that you have to see this only. And a very simple text, I have flashed it over the screen, and it is quite easily readable. But still, you see, our responses are, I mean, the majority have said 4, very few have said 5, and there is 1 6. Now, I am again putting it on the screen. Now you count it and again you write it. How many times F has appeared? Just count it. And after counting, you just again put it on chat box and find out what is the difference, why earlier you could not find it out. Very attentively you count and see. Okay, now again put it on the chat box, whether you are right or wrong. If you are right, you say capital R. If you are wrong, you say W. And then you also write what is the total number of F appearing in this piece of text. Quickly, so that I can proceed further. I have a long path to cover.
So we have responses saying W. They said number 6, number 5. W1 is R. Daya Rani ma'am said number 3. So she's posting R in the chat box. Sharmila
Okay.
ma'am R.
Okay. Okay. Now you realize what has happened. Why I'm saying this? Because uh, actually we tend to overlook. I'm just this is true for me. When I was first exposed to this practice, I also myself did 4, and then I was so ashamed. Then again I look into it, and then I could discover the right answer. Why I'm saying this? Even somebody who is cognitively developed, who is very sincere, also who want to find out the right answer, we tend to overlook. This is the first lesson that we tend to overlook. We sometimes leave the details of the things. This is a fact that we have to understand. And for a reflective teacher, to know this is very, very important. If you realize this, it is very important. Now I am sharing you a story, a very simple and ordinary story of real life. As a teacher, as a principal, as an educator, you must have come across such stories many number of times. Say this man name is Rajan. It's a fictitious name. If somebody is Rajan here, don't take it otherwise. I have just given him a fictitious name, Rajan. Rajan is a very excellent mathematics teacher. His control and command over subject is excellent. I mean, he's brilliant in his subject. He is very hardworking. He comes with lot of preparation to the classroom. He has various number of questions and activities. He wanted to teach very effectively to the student. But he's very strict. You can see his stern face, how serious he is. And whenever he teaches and students are not able to catch it, not able to do it, then he get very frustrated. And out of that frustration, he get angry also. So what has happened, despite being a good teacher and despite being an effective uh, mathematics teacher, having good knowledge, good content, his students are not learning. Students are scared of him. They are not opening in front of him. And consequently, his results are not good. The results in mathematics is not good. And in our school system, when teachers get annoyed very frequently on the students, parents also come and complain to principals, to teachers. In parent-teacher meeting also, there could be sometime hot talks. Teacher used to argue that your child is not good. Parent used to defend, no, no, my child is okay, but your teaching is not good, that sort of thing. So it was a complete mess in his life as a teacher. And now he's in very much trouble. So when he was in very much trouble, his colleagues and his friends in the classroom, uh, uh, in the teacher's room, they used to discuss with him and they used to tell him. Once principal also tell him, you should look into yourself. One of his colleagues said him that mathematics is not the problem, you are the problem. Your temperament, your behavior, your dealing with the student is the real problem. Having listening to that, he has really pondered over it. He thought over it a lot. Okay, actually, is it the thing that my behavior, my way of approach, my anger, is it causing a lot of trouble to the student? And after pondering over it, and he then realized something that, yes, I need to be very polite with the student. I should give them the freedom to say whatever they want to say. I must change my method and ways of teaching and interacting with them. And gradually he tried to implement that in his classroom. And with this change, I mean, this change doesn't come all of a sudden, but gradually it has come. The student could notice that now our sir is not getting angry. He's allowing us to say something. Now we can, pose our question, pose our difficulties. We can be more frank and say, sir, this I could not understand, how it can be done. So gradually, when these things have happened, there was a very, very positive change. The parent-teacher meetings were very with full of warmth. Parents were also happy. Students were also giving some positive, or if the child doesn't know, then they give such type of feedback. And this has changed the complete individual teacher. Resultantly, the subject has also become interesting to the student, and learning has improved. How many of you can resonate with this story? I mean, you have seen such teachers in your surrounding, in your school, or you have come across, or as a child, you have faced such teachers. Just write yes for yes, you have resonate with it, or and if you are not resonating with it. Just give you some feedback so that I can have some idea about it.
Yes, sir. They are typing yes, maximum. All are typing
Maximum.
yes. In fact, everybody
Okay.
whosoever is
Okay.
typing says
Okay.
yes.
Oh, see, we come across such teacher. I mean, this is the daily life story of a school situation. It could be otherwise also. A teacher who is very efficient, very good mannered, but a bunch of students are not learning. They are careless. They are not paying any attention. There is no home support. And these students are becoming a trouble spot in the entire school scene. This could also happen. Here I have taken the teacher, but suppose the teacher is very good. After his complete changeover in his practical method of teaching, he's gone away, anger, everything. But there could be few students who are still not learning. So I would like you to stay with these two things. One, I have given the the sentence where you could not see the obvious thing. And second, this story you should keep in your mind. Now I will go to the reflective practices. He is the genius man about whom we are going to discuss today. His name is Donald Shawn. And Donald Allen Shawn was born in 1930, and he was amidst us up until 1997. 19 September 1997, he died, and he born in 1930 in 13 September. He is an American philosopher and organizational theorist, best known for his groundbreaking work in reflection in professional practices. His reflection theory is across the board. It is not for education only, for medical sciences, for architecture, for engineering, for anywhere. He has made this term reflective practices a very popular idea, very popular, very potent idea to succeed in that field. And he was, as I said, he was not a teacher, but he later taught in Yale and MIT, the philosophy, design management, and everything. And his one book that is called The Reflective Practitioner, published in 1983, became the bestseller. And his main task, his main thing is available over there. So his idea on reflective practices, we will go into it in my next discussion, in my slides come ahead. But here I would like to say that this is the man who has made popularized the idea of reflective practices in the education sector, and along with that in all other sectors. But when Sean came into being and he propagated this idea of reflective practices, prior to that, many things was happening in the field of education. One great name is John Dewey. He was there in 1859 to 1953. Second is Jean Piaget. You must have heard his name. Jean Piaget is very famous. And then Leo Vygotsky, who has come for social learning. The John Dewey for, I should say, he's for experiential learning. The laboratory school across the entire American society was popularized because of him. So John Dewey's idea was experiential learning. You see, his main work started after 1959. You see, those were the time when Cold War was going on. America and Russia was, a bitter foe. They were against each other. And in that scenario, Russia has cracked a space technology which America could not. Yuri Gagarin went into space, came out of his spacecraft and walked into the space. And that has given a signal to the whole world that Russia is better in education, better in technology. It has created a heated debate in America. And at that point of time, John Dewey came, and John Dewey said that our teaching learning processes is rotten. We are promoting rote learning. Our examination system is completely dumb. We are not actually evaluating the students' learning, all sorts of things. And because of that, he has come out with a teaching learning method, which is called experiential learning. And he has developed this is called laboratory school in America. It is still existent in American system, but now many more things has come after John Dewey. John Dewey say you reflect, first you reflect how you are teaching, what things you are doing. You apply, again, apply and reflect and apply. This thing you do, and how you can know about this? By doing it. So this was the very brief introduction of John Dewey. Then come Leo Vygotsky. He is a Russian fellow, but his work has been, I mean, if there is any Nobel Prize in education, he would be the first person he would have got it. He gave the social learning theory. He said that child is innate, very intelligent and capable of doing things. So child on his own can do certain things, but he has certain limitation. He can do up to certain extent of his own. What I can do, the child can go up to this limit, not beyond that of his own. But with the help of teachers, elders, senior peers, society, environment, he can go from here to here. So he has said that there is, according to his mental ability, his cognitive ability, his language ability, a child can go maximum up to this level. You may do whatever you like, but he cannot cross this limit. So he has said this limit, this circle limit is the proximal development of proximal zone of learning. He said proximal zone, I mean, this much he can learn with the help of child. And then comes the entire series of activity, how teachers should design their teaching learning processes so that he can take a child from one level to another level. And then he said the capacity of the child to touch the proximal limit is different. I mean, it can vary in the same group of children, but there is a maximum limit. Beyond that, it cannot go. So this was also a very fascinating story when Sean came, and Sean has undergone all these, practices before he gave his reflective practices. And then this Jean Piaget is very famous. He said there are stages of development: sensory motor up to 2 years, pre pre-operational stage. In this pre-operational stage, the very famous practical done by Jean Piaget across the culture, right from Africa to India to European subcontinent, he did one thing. He took a glass and poured it with water, and then he unpoured the water in a flat bowl, and then asked a child of 2 years, 2.5 years, which is more, the glass is more or the bowl is more. And he found that in his everywhere the child has said that the water contained in the bowl is more, although the water has been poured from glass to the bowl. So he said this is the time where the rule of conversion, the same volume has been converted from glass to bowl, the child cannot understand. And surprisingly, this was true for Africa also, this was true for America also, this was true for India also, this was true for Africa. So his idea was that the design of curriculum, the design of syllabus, and design of teaching learning processes should be such that it should meet the mental frame, the developmental frame of the child. You may spend lakhs of rupees and a very good trainer, but you cannot train a 6-month child to walk. Why? Because his sensory motor stage has not developed. So because of Jean Piaget, the entire education sector have now started understanding the role of development, the role of brain development and child stage. So John Sean, when he came, he has seen all these. I mean, there are many other educationists who has influenced John, but I am just taking, due to paucity of time, these three important examples. So John Sean came up with this model of reflective practices. And he said that, the reflection is one such tool, one such important, potent mental tool. If we use this tool in a befitting manner, in a proper manner, in a righteous manner, we can change ourselves from the within, inside out change, we call it. We can change our attitude, we can change our complete perception. And at the same time, we are very much open to critical thinking, innovation, and learning. So this is the idea that John Sean has given in his book. That book was published in 1983, but prior to that also his work has gone. So what is reflective practices? In brief, I would like to just tell you the ability to reflect on one's action to learn and adapt continuously. You are teaching inside a classroom, so you are acting, you are behaving, you are writing something, you are interacting with the student, you are conducting some activity inside the classroom. So ability to reflect on one's action. Second, it involves paying critical attention to the practical value and theories which inform every action by examining practice reflectively and reflexively, both. And here they have used two terms, reflectively and reflexively. Reflexive means, I will just explain it in little greater detail. But this, the blue part, experience alone does not necessarily lead to learning. This we have to understand. Experience alone does not necessarily lead to learning. Deliberate reflection is essential. हम लोग कहते हैं ना कि sir, he is having 20 years of experience. But if he is doing 20 years every day the same thing, mindlessly, without reflecting, without, introspecting, without deliberately amending his ways, improving his ways, his experience is of no use. Little experience and more reflection can make you a greater teacher. This is the crux of the entire philosophy. So Sean has given two ideas: reflection in action and reflection on action. So reflection in action means, suppose a teacher is teaching inside the classroom, and while teaching, while interacting with the student, while delivering the lesson to the students, he could notice that students are a bit confused. They are not getting the point, isn't it? This idea that he has thinking while teaching, this idea has come to his mind. This is called reflection in action. While teaching, the teacher could notice that the students are not able to get me. What I have told them, they are not able to understand it. They are a bit confused. They are giving some signals. So understanding that is very, very important. Suppose once teacher understand it, now what he can do? He can change the method. He can change the idea. Teacher has always different ideas, different uh, tricks, different learning materials to share with the student. So this is called reflection in action. Reflection on action is, suppose you have completed the lesson, you come out of the classroom, now you give a thought. How was my class? How was the delivery of the classroom? How have I explained the entire concept? What was the reaction of the student? Could I be even better in explaining this? Should I use some more technique to make it more clear? All these things after retrospectively, after we complete the teaching learning processes, then we think over it and change my plan of teaching for future classes. So reflection is while during the teaching, and reflection on means after I have completed the thing. Now suppose I am giving you this scene. This is a classroom scenario. What you can make out of it? How is the classroom? Are they learning? Are they happy? Are they getting the topic? What would you say? What is your reflection on these two pictures?
So
And
we have teachers saying it's boring, unhappy classroom, confusion.
why? Why it could be boring? Now, second question, why it could be boring? Okay. So now you can have series of questions. What should be done to improve it? And now these are all reflective questions. You got my point. So I am just because now if I were in front of you, I would have given some more activities. But suppose I am projecting this picture to you and asking, so you can immediately make out, they are not happy, they are not learning. These could be the probable reason from your own experience as teacher, from own experience as always we have been student also. So like this. So now in action, knowledge in action is knowing how, instinctively use the skill tactics for, reflection in action. Teacher must have plenty of activities with him, plenty of, systems, tricks, ideas to immediately change over it. Suppose it is not working. So there is no point. Suppose the student are not understanding a particular concept. Suppose you are teaching any mathematical concept, algebraical concept, and now while teaching, you could notice that students are not understanding. Even if you change the method, they are not understanding. What you will do? The right thing is that, okay, you leave it. We will do it sometime later. You change the topic. You have many other things to talk. But unnecessarily dragging it, pushing it, is always create disinterest about the next time when you come after reflection on action, after you have given a lot of thought into it, then you can go for further improvement in classroom teaching practices, and you can give them a bigger, different framework for learning. So now, similarly, now I am showing you this picture. What you can make of it? Like I have given the earlier picture. What is your reflection? How is the class? Are they taking interest? If it is so, why? Are they engaged? Isn't it? Now you can very well, from your experience, you can say ki, yes, it is a class where students are keenly involved in activities. They are interacting, they are taking keen interest. The subject content has been explained or delivered by the teacher in a befitting and right manner. Am I right? So this is the idea that you can gradually get when something has been placed before you. Now, if you are a reflective teacher, then you should understand why of the teaching. You are resilient, emphatic, and confident. Reflective practices has to be voluntary. You have to own these practices. You see, no one can change anybody. I mean, learning has to be uh, first accepted by the student. We cannot push learning in the mind of the students. And it is true for we teachers also. We have to voluntarily accept the reflective teaching method. We have to own it. Unless we own it, we cannot bring out any change. For owning the reflective practices, we have to do two things. We have to light up our heart and light up our mind. We have to accept it. We have to emotionally, we have to mentally ready for it. When we light up our mind and heart, then we need a unknown person in our mind. This unknown person is our guide. He should be unbiased. He should be emphatic. He should be objective and tell me how I have behaved in a classroom during my teaching. You got my point? So these are all reflection techniques that you should detach yourself from your action and then you observe your action. And after observing the entire process inside the classroom, as if you are teaching in a classroom and you are observing yourself in the classroom. Suppose you have taught a history lesson to the class. After teaching the classroom, you have asked few questions to the students. But you have asked question to few selected students only and left the majority of the class. Now the unknown person in your mind or the stranger is telling you, why have you done so? Why have you not asked question to these backbenchers or these students who seldom speak in the class? There could be a possibility that you have an idea, you are prejudiced that these students are not good, they would not be able to answer, therefore you are not asking them. It happens as a teacher, I am telling you. So reflection is a very deep and very motivating factor. I mean, reflection first change your attitude toward entire teaching learning process. Technique comes later. Technique is not that important. Technique will come. But once your attitude has changed, we have many biases about subject matter, about student, about location, about setup, about policy, about authority. We have many things in our mind going on. But these things should not impact my relation with the student. This is the crux of the reflective teaching methodologies. So it is looking into the mirror. So when we look at the mirror, we should look as we are. We should not look to the mirror as we want to see it. So when I am talking about the stranger, the unknown person help us to look at ourselves as we are, not as we want to see ourselves. So this is a very, Dolan Swan has actually changed the entire framework of classroom design and teaching learning practices. Uh, Unfortunately, in my M.Ed and B.Ed, I have never heard the name of Donald Swan. It was much later I came about this great man who died very recently. I mean, 1997 is very recent. I mean, he's as compared to John Dewey, Jean Piaget, Vygotsky, he is very young to that way. So he has really altered the entire. While we do this, we enhance the continuous learning and improvement. We develop self-awareness and critical thinking, boost adaptability and innovation, cultivate new skill, identified opportunities to overcome stagnation. Now I am talking about some tools. Here up until here in brief, I have tried to explain the reflective practices. If time permits, in the end we can have some question answer session. But now I will continue with the topic. After that, after Sean has given his idea, then many of his students and other educationists of that era has come out with various programs and planning. We in our Indian school, I don't know what you are doing right now. Still, we are following a lesson plan sort of thing, which is very old and rudimentary. And I think that we should give it up as early as possible. The rudimentary lesson plan that we are making, I feel that it is wastage of time. Rather, we should give more freedom to teacher to plan, and that I will come a little later. So the Gibbs is one important person who has really made a system where the reflective practices can be practiced. So he said description, the state of basic facts, what happened, who, what, when, why, without analysis or emotional input. You need not to emotionally engage, but very emphatically you have to give it. Then while doing so, what was your feeling? Reflect on your own emotions, experience before, during, and after the event. Then you evaluate the both, then analyze, dig deeper into the reasons behind the outcome, connecting the event, relevant theories and experiences, and then summarize and plan your entire lesson plan accordingly so that you can go with an alternative method which is more practical and more implementable in that. So Gibbs cycle has been given, it is called SMART, SMART, specific outline. It should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be relevant, and it should be time bound. So Gibbs, if you Google Gibbs cycle, you will get many such templates, and also some, this is again the same reflection of Gibbs reflective cycle. And then each cycle has been again divided into subtopics, how you should, make your action plan, how should you analyze your feelings, how should you describe your event inside the classroom. So that is given over there. Now, these practices are there, but the new education policy also talks of Indian knowledge system. If you read the new education policy, it talks of Panchkosas, the Annamay Kosh, the Manomay Kosh, the Pranmay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh. Different level. Annamay Kosh is this physical body. The Pranmay Kosh, the breath that we are taking. Okay, the Manomay Kosh, the kind of thought that we have. Similarly, Vigyanmay Kosh, the intellect that we have. And beyond intellect, we have a notion of, spirit or soul or whatever. So this is the gradual level. So in Indian knowledge system, we have followed, this education policy has placed a lot of emphasis on Indian knowledge system. And I was trying to find out whether the West, John Shawn, D.V., Vygotsky, Jean Piaget, they are all intellectuals and educationists of the West. I go to Wikipedia, I go to, different sources, Google is scholarly everywhere. I didn't found a single word about the Indian system. Why it is so? Because we are not present in their phenomenon. But I can tell you with full confidence, the kind of knowledge, the system that we have in our old system, it is very much reflective system. I will say you, the Guru Shishya Parampara is okay. Teacher and student must be closely knit. They should have respect for each other. They should be, transmit knowledge, all that. But samvada, the kind of interaction, the kind of discussion, the dialogic method, asking question, encouraging questioning, deep, interaction, didactic engagement. These are all the part of Indian knowledge system, and which is also, by the way, an integral part of the reflective practices. In core pedagogical method in Indian knowledge system, we talk of Kriya, the experiential learning, and also there is a term called Nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is deep contemplation, the meditation we call it, a meditative method focused on internalizing knowledge, encourage deep reflection and assimilation of wisdom, essential for transferring the intellectual understanding into personal reflection. So, I mean, these are the three. I mean, the Upanishadic text, if you see, there are three methods for learning, three complete methods. Shravana means listening, then Manana, reflecting and thinking, engaging in thoughtful reflection and logical reasoning, and then Nididhyasana, that is profound internalization, contemplation, absorption, self-realization. This is the top grade reflective practices, if you ask me. These are the top grade reflective practices. So these has been the part of the Indian knowledge system for millennia, for ages. And our new education policy also talks of it. So now as a teacher, I think all of us, those who are joining this session today, must be practicing some kind of chanting, some kind of yoga, some kind of practices. Am I right? I mean, all of us, those who are, I mean, some sort of practices we are doing to calm down our mind, to, internalize our thinking. Am I right? Yes, you say, yes, I am following some sort of chanting, some sort of meditation, some sort of mindfulness practices, some sort of yoga, some sort of kriya, something we are doing, isn't it? Why we are doing it? Because this is an integral part of our culture. And because of this yoga day and other things, now it has become international phenomenon. So reflective practices, contemplation, thinking, deep diving into topic is also a reflective way of looking into the method. So now, as a reflective practitioner, Indian knowledge system and Sean's reflective model share reflective epistemologies aiming at holistic development. The holistic development that our Indian education system, the new education policy is talking about, it is possible uh, if we integrate the Sean's idea of reflective practices and the Indian
Yes,
knowledge.
Jaideep.
Both emphasizes learning from lived experience, fostering critical thinking through dialogue and contemplation, and bridging theory with practice. And together they promote cultural sensitivity, identity, and global competent, yet based on the local situation. So this is the thing. Now I am giving you some tool for reflective practices. Here they have written teacher diary. I am not talking about the teacher diary in the rudimentary sense, the kind of teacher diary that we are making in our school nowadays. Diary is not for others, diary is for personal. My diary is for whom? For my own reflection, isn't it? So as a teacher, we must write our daily feeling, daily outcome of classroom situation. If not daily, at least occasionally we should write, this is something great happened inside the school, inside the classroom. This is something I have done and it has worked well, or it has not worked well. Why it has not worked well? Some sort of generic. So it can be written. Nowadays we have, we can, if we are, if we do not find time, we can speak and record it so that we can recollect it later. See, the reflective practices are very good when it is done immediately after the class. But if it is not possible immediately after the class, we can do it next morning when we are fresh, but not beyond that. Suppose the class takes place today and if we want to reflect it after 6 months, it will not work. So reflection has to be fresh. Fresh means within 1, 2, or 3 days, or at the most within a week's time. So if we keep a journal, if we note the student reaction, if we write about the lesson, if we write about, if we can type it, we can use the app, we can use voice note. But if we keep some kind of record and ponder over it, this is a very good tool. Second is, we can record our class and observe it later on. Suppose I am recording my class for 45 minutes or 50 minutes, whatever I have taught, and then I go back and look into the class. It can be a voice recording also. Voice recording also gives you a very good idea how you have interacted, how you have narrated the topic, how you have delivered the entire content. Very good idea. So if you want to reflect on certain your teaching learning processes, this is another matter. Journaling, I have already said. Now, another is the peer observation is very good. We have our colleagues in our schools. We can work for each other. You can invite a colleague to observe your class, collect the insight, and receive the constructive feedback from your colleague. And after receiving that constructive feedback, you can implement, you can change your teaching learning method, and you can do the necessary changes as a reflective practitioners. Then, there are some professional learning groups, subject-wise, we have collaborative group where the subject teachers sit together, interact, observe, reflect. Similarly, peer observation cycles are also there. Then school-based professional learning groups are also there. It is happening mostly in West. In our country also, some of the school systems have implemented it. Then you can find out good books. I forgot to tell you about one book. One book that is written by Brookfield, Brook, Brookfield. Brookfield has written Teacher, Critically Reflective Teacher. This book came in 2017. I think it is available in the Amazon. This is the latest, and I find it a very useful book it gives you the entire scenario of reflective practices. Then digital tools also provide you good support. Google Classroom, Embodo, private reflective logs also you can have, video-based inflation. So these are the things, these are some of the tools that you can use as a reflective teacher. So this is all that I have to share with you in terms of the presentation. If you have anything that you want to share with me, I am there to respond. If time permits, Poonamji.
Thank you so much, sir, for the thought-provoking presentation. We all are indeed enlightened about the reflective practices, how little experience and great reflection can lead to great learning. I'm sure we all as educators are ready to own the reflective practices as guided by you. The session is now open for questions. Participants can put forth their questions to sir. Any participant with any question? Sir, we are getting comments. Thank you, sir, for providing information about reflection. Wonderful session, great session.
Thank you. If you have no, but I would like to say, if you are really interested in this, you read that book of Brookfield, critical reflective teacher. It came in 2017, written by Brookfield. That is a very good book, and you will find various PDF files about reflective practices in internet sources that also you can use. I have certain things with me, but I will share with you, Poonamji. If they want, you can share it with them.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Is there any
participant with any question for sir?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anil sir, with your due permission, can we begin with the next session,
Please,
the
please,
second session?
please, please.